All right. I think we're working. See if we can get this to load up. My computer might not be able to handle this, so we're seeing how it goes. Computer might not be able to handle this, so we're gonna try and compose a piece of music here. I might have opened Sibelius twice, but we're okay. See if it loads. I want to see if I can make this into a regular kind of a thing where I can just write a piece of music for fun. If I can get this to work. All right. So I use Sibelius. This is all the options that it gives you if you're wanting to write a piece of music. I want to try to write something a bit more practical. So if you want to kind of see, there's like school band. It doesn't show you the instrumentation, but once you go to the next, you double click it and it loads. My computer might not work. But you can add and take away instruments. You just double click, it'll jump right into it. I don't think I want to do that though. Going back in. You can set a few parameters if you have an idea of what you want to write. A lot of times it's a good idea to know what you're going to want to write, but it's not terrible. Change it, it's just a little bit more of a hassle. I think I want to try I want to try doing something simple if I can. So we'll just go school band. Page size, I'm going to change this right now so I'm not messing with it. I'm going to do letter, which is like standard paper size. Style, just leave it normal. And this is where you can go in and change instruments if you want to. And so I'll probably end up doing this. This is just the school band, so this is a pretty basic setup. What I am going to do, I like having the bassoon, trombone, euphonium. I'm just going to do one trumpet part, one clarinet part, and the flute part. We'll have oboe double, bass clarinet, that'll be fine, alto tenor varying. So that'll get me kind of in the basic area of what we want to do. I think we'll start here. Just go to OK. It's nicer if you can take things away than add. No pickup beats. Let's have our metronome marking just standard 100 beats per minute. Think about, let's do something, because we want to go easy, easier. We're going to keep it in a pretty standard band key. Just B flat's fine. You can change this later and add it later. Title page can be nice, so you don't have to add it later, but we'll just leave it. Title, we don't know what it is yet, but think about an idea we can write a piece about. I want to do something that's more higher energy, but something that's really playable. I can't think of a title right now, but we'll just label it HCS1, as this is our first, or not our first time doing this, but we're just doing it. No ranger. Not save as. We'll just save it. Well, I guess it does have to save as. Still have the old go live here. We'll just get this out of here from here. This will be flute and oboe. You can leave the in B flats, I guess. I don't really super like them. Most times you write clarinet parts, they're gonna be in B flat. But it's up to you. Generally, the less lines you're dealing with, the easier time you're gonna have. And you can expand it more if you want to. So first 5 notes, a good standard that I've learned to kind of check on if this will load. If you go to, is the live stream going? Alfred Music Submissions for new composers, people who are just writing. It's good to have the grade idea, level idea in your mind when you're starting writing something. And so they have this really cool document of what their expectations are of each grade level of music, so like what the instrumentation would be. And so if I'm wanting to write something simpler, like a developing band series, it's going to be flute, oboe, first, second clarinet. It has all that stuff in there. Tenor, it has the combined trombone, baritone, bassoon, mount percussion part, and a timpani part. For beginning level pieces, the instrumentation may be reduced and omit second parts for clarinet, alto, and trumpet. So let's start just with there. And it even gives you like very beginning band, like a 0.5. what the instrumentations look like. So it has mallet percussion, percussion, optional timpani. So I'll write optional next to timpani, but I won't write super integral timpani parts. Percussion, that's usually going to be bass drum, snare, and suspended cymbal or crash cymbals, or, you know, just simple percussion parts. But it has it all laid out here for you. So if you can get the instrumentation set up for whatever grade level you're going for before you even start, I've learned it's a lot easier because you're not having to change a bunch of stuff if you want to submit these. And then what's really cool is that they give you the some note ranges to consider. And so for this is a grade 0.5. This is meant for beginners, and so you go the first 6 notes, and that's what I based. This is what I based the Call of the Warriors on. Is these first 5 or 6 notes. And it has the parenthetical note there as like an additional note if you want to. But if you stick with just these 6 notes for each of the instruments, you're gonna have a lot more success. If you're ever wanting to submit these. And then there's some flexibility. So it tells you percussion. Mallets is going to be bells / xylophone. And so I'm just going to rewrite it and just, it'll say mallets. And then percussion, it says standard instruments. Timpani, optional, and it says 2 pitches only. And then I think this is where I didn't look ahead either too on that. But it wants it 60 to 70 measures, 1-page parts. So they're just looking at 1 page. Be considerate of the challenges for young musicians, intervals, 6 position for trombones, awkward fingerings, fatigue, stamina. Think about beginning band instrumentation with doublings. Percussion should be thoughtfully involved. Variations of these guidelines may appear. Grade levels. But it's a really nice place to start. And so one of the things I would challenge you guys to do is to, go here. If you're going to write a piece of music, I don't know who I'm talking to here. Keys, meters, rhythms are going to be considered. And usually you want to keep the rhythms pretty simple if you're going to do a 0.5. And it can go all the way up like grade 4. You can pretty much 4 plus. You can do whatever you want. But I want to do 0.5 again, because why not? But it says 60 to 70 measures if you want to. So what I like to kind of do is to have that available so I can kind of recall what my first 5 notes are. But this is kind of where you're going to start. It has 2 percussion parts. Let's get rid of one of them. Oh, not change. Add or mid. Yes. Okay. So it's just going to be percussion, and then this one we'll just write as mallets. Mall. We'll just do that. So I'm pretty happy with the formatting here. Right now everything is in concert pitch, and so that's not going to be helpful if you're trying to get the first 5 notes things to happen. So you want to go into notation, I think. No, note input. I'm used to using my phone, and so this computer is a little different where everything is. On my phone, I'm pretty quick on it. Transpose square. So now you're going to see all the keys are different, which is what you want. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna write here. Let's see what our tempo is, because I said 100. I just kind of randomly chose it. Pretty standard. All right, let's start writing some music here. So we're going to do some melodic things first. So let's go into a trumpet part. I don't have anything really specific in my mind. I know I want it to be strong. So this is a C, but it's going to be a B flat. That's part of their first 5 notes. But let's start on a G. And then just figuring out what kind of questions you want to ask if you don't have a picture in your mind. But I'm just thinking about like my band. Generally, the first thing that we play when we warm up is going to be a concert F. And so I think I want everybody to start on a concert F. And that's something that I did similarly with the Call of the Warriors. So I think we'll start on an F. Hmm. Hmm. Get some repetition going here. D, da, dum. Ooh, we could do something like Remington related. Dum. Yeah. So Remington is like an exercise that most bands, most bands will do. But it's chromatic, but for this, we're just going to keep it this. Maybe we can have it centered around like that Remington exercise. That could be interesting. Why not? Do, 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 do. Yeah. Let's keep this symmetrical in our phrasing. And then I got an idea. Do some scalar stuff. So we're creating a sequence here. For now, we might decide we don't like it. So right now we have 4. Do, do. And I like to do panoramic just because I don't like the page breaks. It's going to be under view. Yeah. So now it's all just like one sheet that's like goes on forever. It's kind of nice. Hmm. Okay. So this is an introduction, I would say. Always save as you go. I'm going to add a rehearsal mark here. So we're going to do an 8-measure phrase. That's pretty standard for younger groups. Ah, don't do that. Undo button is always my friend here. And again, rehearsal mark. Just going to add a letter A there. Doll. I think I'm going to leave some articulations out and have the director be a little bit more interpretive, except for here. Da, 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 da. I guess these are bigger jumps though. But again, this is like the idea of the Remington exercise, I guess. I'll try to add some articulations as I go. Da, 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 da. Dun 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 dun. And again, I like to sing it in my own head. It feels good. To me. And again, what you could do, I don't know what I'm saying, why I'm saying this, but I feel like this is a nice like mallet part. So we're gonna throw it in the mallets, copy paste. Maybe not. We want to add some shaping here probably. I think from a beginning of a piece, I want it to be forte, expression F, it would be strong. Let's do a forte piano. Oop. Just press E maybe. Oop, nope. Again, I'm used to using my phone. Oh, FP still there. Let's do an FP. Let's do a nice long crescendo. Because why not? Save. Text. Okay. So again, you can check and say, okay, trumpets, that's where we would live. C through A. It's the standard horn part here for horn Okay, so I think I like that. Maybe add some percussion in here. And let's have a little bit of variation. But really we're trying to just keep the band in time here. And then keeping this as simple as we can, while also having it be fun and sound good. Because whenever you're starting out in music, it's helpful to have it be slightly repetitive, so that way you have something to kind of latch on to. And if this is made for beginning band, then that's what you want to do. And then we're going to change it up here. Instead of 1, 2, and 3, 4, and we're going to go 1 and 2. So we're going to do, it's going to contrast with that top part there. But still simple, if we can. And let's do some 16th notes here. During that rest, I think would be appropriate. Dun, dun, dun. On some 8th notes here. Okay. Got a snare part for the first 8 bars. Let's see if we can get the first 8 bars feeling nice. Add some dynamics. I always like to add dynamics as we go. We're going to mirror what we did up top. Try to. Maybe. See what this turns into. The longer I've done this, I feel like I have a pretty good idea on playability. And younger groups, they're going to have more fun. They have some early success and they enjoy what they're playing. These jumps might be a little tricky, but again, it is a standard band exercise. Dee, dum, 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 dum. But then it does have those jumps in there, so that might be something. They might maybe I still like the Remington idea. I think I want to stick with it. I think what I want it to be is a unison at the beginning to keep it simple. Because again, you're wanting them all to find the note first. And then first 6 notes. It doesn't say first 6 notes on mallets, but it's going to be the same as everybody else. I think the first 4 measures we are for sure going to have everybody be unison just to have a good strong opening. And then flutes, this is going to be up higher. Clarinets will be there. Bass clarinet's going to be lower. Alto. Yeah. Tenor. Yeah. Bary's going to be the same as alto. Again, there probably wouldn't be beginning Barys, but you never know. Horn. C, F to C. We are there. Copy that, go down. And then I think here is where we're going to split it off into harmony, into some chords here. And then for my optional timpani part, the 2 notes are going to be B flat and F. So if Sibelius will respond, we can just get these first 8 measures today. We're just kind of testing this out. Okay, let me write a timpani part. And so timpani, you can write, there's no key signature given. You can have it be given if you want to. I want him to play dom, doom. So we're going here. Just for now. And this would be a lot more involved if it was for more advanced grades, I would say. But I think when you're doing a 0.5, again, you're just trying to find things that are going to be fun and engaging and that they're going to find success on early. And for me, I think that's vital. But who knows? Timpani. Okay. I think that this is definitely still going to be flute and trumpets doubling. Or flutes and clarinets doubling the trumpet part here. And again, I'm still within that first 5 or 6 note range here. And then let's add some. And again, the brass players are going to be blowing for how long they're worth. So I think I'm going to do half notes here, not whole notes. Oh, so I go. Um, Go back to unison. And you could play it and check on it. I think it's gonna sound okay. We'll see if Sibelius will respond. Again, this is kind of a thing where I'm like using a lot of the computer's processing power to live stream this while also using Sibelius. But it's an older computer. So what are you gonna do? Use what you got. Okay, it's our bass voice. So we're gonna also double it. And these guys, we're also gonna double it here and here. So we got some good doublings. And then the alto, oh, and then the bass clarinet as well. So the alto and the horn, we could do a two-part. Could have them play a harmony. We could have them start here. And then break into a harmony. So let's have, okay, we're gonna try something. Okay, so we're gonna start in unison with them, and then we're gonna go down. And am I out of my range here? F is still fine. Yeah, okay, that's a harmony part. There we go. Let's also add, let's add some bass drum here. Excuse me. I guess we could listen to how it sounds. Just hopefully it doesn't crash everything. see what we got. And there could be a percussion thing. That's kind of a silly thing. I don't know if I like it, but it's something. Kind of showing an idea. And starting with a warm-up idea. I don't know, there's something. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the bass drum part mirror what the bass voices are doing to kind of it's another way of doing like part doubling. And it'll help that performer to be able to hear their part a little easier. Might seem kind of plain and vanilla at this point, and I could change it later if I feel like it. But a lot of times I don't like to really just start messing with things. I like to just get a bunch of ideas down and then just keep going. Because or after I hear it, well, that's not true. After I hear it, a lot of times, sometimes I'll go back and say, okay, that isn't quite how I thought it would sound in our head. And again, you're just kind of listening inside to see, what is this supposed to sound like? Okay. So we've written out all these parts here. I gotta write this timpani thing here. But we want it to just be regular. And again, we're just focusing on doing 2 notes. This would work on an F here. Okay. We'll do the same dynamics stuff. Forte piano. And then for the playback, because I did a different colored notation for the bass drum. See, that's green, and this is a blue. Or I guess you can't see it because my head's in the way, but this is green, this is blue. So you also, this is only going to affect the volume of the snare, so you also need to do it for the, and then you can take it out later, or you can hide it later. So we'll make it red, but it's fine. Forte piano. I'm kind of doing it quickly because I'm actually really tired. I'm not going to be out doing this live stream all night. Just wanted to give it a try. Ooh, we're going to do green. We're going to highlight all these green things. And for the snare, I could add some articulations, but I'm going to leave that up to, oh, that did not work. Let's try this. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to leave it. Okay, just going to leave it. Okay, and that is the first 8 measures of a grade 0.5 band piece based on the F. Remington exercise, or inspired by the F. Remington exercise. So we'll give it one more listen and then we'll call it done. Is this working as it should? It is. All right, see what it sounds like. And then like it or hate it, that's what it is. That's what you wrote. Generally, I wouldn't just throw away something you write. Sometimes it's good to kind of sit and listen to it a few times. But let's see if I can get this transition to work. It did. I don't know if I'll be able to do this every night, but I think it'd be a kind of a fun thing for some people who are interested in understanding how composers write music to kind of see the process live. And I'm not ashamed to show you all the things that I do. I might not do it the right way, but it's the way I do it. And this is just a for fun thing. This isn't somebody commissioning me to write a piece for them. I would never live stream something that I was like, because that is something you generally want to keep private for them. And this is just for fun, just for us. And if this piece if I like it, if we like it, then we can do maybe have a performance of it and be kind of cool. But I don't know. It's kind of late though. I'm ready to be done. So we'll see you guys later. See if this will end.